What's up? I'm Ben, and today we're talking about all of the steel cards in Rise of the Floodborn. You might be saying, why are we doing that? Because the Azerite Seas cards are finally fully revealed, and we can look at all those. Why would we spend our time looking at Rise of the Floodborn? You can go to Azerite Sea, and then you can see all those cards. And we'll talk about those next week. But this week, we're finishing up the steel cards in Rise of the Floodborn. So let's go to it. We're going to filter to steel and set Rise of the Floodborn, Azerite Sea, and the cost, we need to get rid of that filter. These are all the steel cards in Rise of the Floodborn. We're going to talk about each one. We're going to learn about what they do. We're going to read them all. We're going to read the flavor text. That's what today's about. The very first steel card is Beast, the Forbidding Recluse. Forbidding? What? I don't know how that word is pronounced. It says, you're not welcome here. When you play this character, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. Fun fact, I have a signed Steadfast card of this card, because apparently that's the card he chose to sign. And I like it. So this has a special spot in the collection, because it's signed by Steadfast, a YouTuber who makes Lorcana content. It's a good one. You can ping a damage if you want to. It pairs well with green steel stuff. Has some good survivability. Is it a good choice to use your 4-drop on it? Maybe. And I like it. This was a playmat. This was cool art. I like it a lot. Good card. I've never played it though, but maybe it'll do a thing eventually. This is the second beast. This one is the Selfless Protector. Selfless Protector. Shield another. Whenever one of your characters would be dealt damage, put that many damage counters on this character instead. Pretty good deal. And it has 8 willpower, so it's able to take a lot of damage. Sadly, it dies to Medusa, which is not the best thing, but it's kind of cool. If you want to do stuff with this, the combos are here. It's available, and it's only a super rare, so you're able to find them in packs a little bit more likely than this beast. The big mama beast that we got to talk about is the Tragic Hero. This is the one that you've probably seen, because this is the one that's like $40 and $100 as a foil. Now it's down to like $80 as a foil, which is cool. The Floodborn Hero Prince, the hero keyword, so good. The Prince keyword got even better today with the release of the King Sensor Core. It says Shift 3, so you can put it on any one of these beasts. But you're probably not going to do that. You're probably just going to drop it on turn 5. And it has a mandatory ability. It says at the start of your turn, if this character has no damage, draw a card. So it's a pretty good deal. Normally, you don't exert your beast to quest or something. You keep them untapped, so then they would have to damage it some other way. And then you get to draw a card. But if they damage it, boom, at the start of your turn, you go to a 7/5 character. So good. He gets huge. He gets swole. And he can quest for 2. It must be my destiny to remain a beast forever. He's so dramatic. We love him. He's so good. I play 4 of them. I played 4 of them for a long time now. One of the best cards in Steel. And definitely the best card in Rise of the Floodborn right here. And that's why we're doing this, I guess, to talk more about Beast. This is Benja. Benja is severely underrated right now. If you don't have Benja, you should probably pick up some copies of Benja, because the item decks are going to be out in force, dude. It says when you play this character, you may banish chosen item. It could be your item if you're crazy. It could be your opponent's item if you like it. And it's you may, so you don't have to do it. If you have an item of your own on board and you play Benja, you don't have to banish that item. It's a good deal. I like it. The 2/3 is great. This can take out some characters. The 3 survives a lot of things, especially in turn 3. It's a good option for sure. It's a good tech. I like it a lot. There's another character, the Wreck-It Ralph, but it costs 6, but it's every time it quests, it can banish chosen item or location. So it's kind of getting outclassed, but this is a common card. You can pull this in your packs, and I like Benja a lot. Mostly because my name's Ben, too, and his name's Benja. And those are the similar letters. This is Chief Bogo, the 4-cost Uninkable. And it's one of those things from Rise of the Floodborn, like Honest John, like Blue Fairy, like Nana, like Bucky, that has the when you play a Floodborn effect, it says insubordination. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, deal 1 damage to each opposing character. Pretty good. It does to each opposing character. If they have a board of 10 characters, you're doing 10 damage. It goes crazy. And all you have to do is play a Floodborn. And if you play this with Tinkerbell, you're basically doing 2 damage globally to their side of the board. So good. It's a grab your swords just if you set this up the turn before you do your Tinkerbell. And that's a possibility because you could shift your Tinkerbell on turn 5 if you have already down the 3-drop Tinkerbell. And then you do this on 4 and then you shift on 5. It's a good wombo combo. I like it a lot. Chief Bogo, underrated, especially for the amount of like green cards that say like for each damage character, like if you want damage characters, Chief Bogo is a cheap way to get lots of characters damaged all at once. Doesn't matter if they have ward because it does it to each of them. This Cinderella is a great shift target for the big Cinderella Stout-Hearted, and it is only a 2 cost. Some people used to run these early in the Steel Song list, but they have since made their way out. And then she was also in like a Rockstar Stitch Flood deck. So like you could just play her and then you could dig a little bit to see if you wanted to get to your Whole New Worlder stuff. It helps. It's a good card. It's not bad. And then it can shift into this Cinderella. This Cinderella, one of the best Cinderellas there ever was. The Floodborn hero, Princess Knight Cinderella. And she's got a little chip out of her sword. And we found out that that chip goes to the Prince Charming in the Rise of the Floodborn set too. You shift it for 5. So watch out if they have 5 ink. They could shift this thing. It's got resist 2, which is actually just cracked, which is just so crazy. It puts this to 7 health, just wild. And then it has another ability to make it even better. If 3 lore wasn't good enough, if having basically 7 willpower wasn't good enough, it has the singing sword ability. Whenever you play a song, this character may challenge ready characters this turn. Doesn't matter if they have ward, because you're just challenging them. You're not choosing them. You're choosing them to challenge, but ward says opposing characters can't choose except to challenge. And you're challenging them. It's so good. If your opponent plays a character, they think they're safe, boom, you swing into it. And then if they don't play a character, you quest for 3 lore. 3 is a huge amount of lore if you didn't know. And this is the DLC promo. And this is the D23 promo. Obviously, it's got some love to it. And this is the foil for top 64 is $1,000. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, the Donald Duck Deep Sea Diver. You go ahead, Minnie. I'm going to see if there's any lore over here. Oh, hook. That's what Goofy would say if he was a deep sea diver. The 5 cost 6/5, not the best. The 5-drop slot needs to be able to change the tide of the game. And this doesn't really do it. This just dies to Zeus. So what's the point? Eli LaBeouf, I think, is underrated. Big Daddy, the 2/5 in quest for 2 lore. How are you going to get rid of a 5 willpower character? You might never know, except for Zeus. They're going to sing Zeus on this thing, and then you'll be so sad. But it's great. I like it a lot. The 2/5 means that it can survive a lot of stuff, and then the 2 lore, just, it's aggro. I like it. It's good. The Goofy that never saw play, that maybe one day we could play. I would love to see Goofy played maybe with the Mickey Mouse Trumpeter. I've tried it. Didn't make it work. This is a 9 cost character, so it's going to be really hard to get this thing out. But it's a 10-10 stat line. Excuse 10-10? That's crazy. And a quest for 4. That's the most amount, except for Mirabelle. Mirabelle quest for 5. And Belle and Alice and Ariel. There's lots of stuff that quest for 5, but this quest for 4 already, and it's got the 10-10 stat line. That is the most amount that there is. There's no 11s in this game, except for if you like move Cubby between locations a bunch, then you can get up to 1 billion. But there it is. That's the Goofy. Underrated. This Hercules is crazy against the mere Emerald Steels. If you're playing Emerald Steel, you would play this in like a Cinderella, and then Emerald Steel can't do anything to you. If you get 2 big bodies on board, you're good to go. It has the resist 2, so it's basically a 5. But it can die to some stuff. Like one Zeus takes it away, which makes sense. Along came Zeus, takes this out. That's pretty funny. The shift 4, and then it can quest for 2. It's huge, and it hits for 6. And if it's hitting something that has 2 attack, it's taking no damage back. That's what's up. This is a Hercules shift target for this. It says, no need to call 911. Wow, that's crazy. They did the Roman numerals because this is during like the ancient Greek times. That's something else. You know, I've never read that flavor text, and here we are reading it together. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. This is the Jafar Floodborn Dreadnought. You can shift him on 2. I played him a lot in the Bucky deck because you don't shift it. You just play it on 4 because you have down your Bucky, you play down your Diablo, you play down your Jafar, and then this thing can draw you cards the next turn. It's also really good in the Jafar Striking Illusionist deck, the purple one that gains a lore when it's exerted and you draw a card, because this can draw a card if it takes out a character, and 3 is the right amount of strength to take out stuff. This can take out Mana Mim Snakes and still live. This can take out Mana Mim Fox and trade equally. It's a good deal. I like this card. It wasn't bad. This is the Jafar that you could shift this onto. This is Jafar is also a good shift for the Striking Illusionist Jafar that we got into the Inklands. It's the Royal Vizier. During your turn, this character gains Evasive. They can challenge characters with Evasive, and this can take out a Diablo on Hidden Cove. I'm surprised not more people have played this as a tech against it. I guess the Broom just does it better. The Broom is the Broom a 2/3? I think the Magic Broom that gains Evasive on your turn is a 2/3. This is a 3/2, and it makes sense that this would be a little bit better because this could take out the Diablo on a Cove, and then you'd be good to go. But it is still able to be sung, let the Storm Rage on, so maybe it's not the best. The Kronk, and over here is not Bucky, but this is the Kronk. It has the Resist 1. Never played this Kronk, never seen it coming, but it's here. The Scout Leader, during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may deal 2 damage to chosen character. This is the We Have Tinkerbell at Home, and I don't mind it, but it is the same cost as Tinkerbell, has the same stat lines as Tinkerbell, but it has a resist. Pretty good. You're giving up the do a damage when played for a resist. Is that okay? Probably. This is underrated. This might be pretty good. The Resist 1 is cool. Do I like this card? Ooh, this is a good card. We just found that one out together. This is Lawrence. Lots of people have been playing the Lawrence lately. He has the 4 strength when he has no damage. So he can take out enemy daisies, and then he goes to a 0/4. But then you can just quest him. He's got the aggro abilities. This I've seen also trigger the Flynn Rider Frenemy, where if you have more strength than your opposing characters, then you gain 3 lore with Flynn at the start of your turn, and this one has 4 strength for a 3. That's a good deal. There's not a lot of stuff that costs 3 that will give you a 4 strength, but Lawrence does it. This is Li Shang. Whenever this character quests, your characters gain evasive this turn. Not bad. A spicy tech if the evasive come back in force. This one can take them out. When this character quests, your characters gain evasive. That's not too bad, but it's only in this turn. So if you pass the turn, your evasive is gone, and then you're not safe anymore. Learn what to do. Then learn to do without thought. Without thought. Learn to do it without thought. Interesting. The Magic Broom, the industrial model. This is the second Broom that we got, and everyone was like, Broom is going to be here forever. And then they stopped support for Broom. Give us more Broom support, please. When you play this character, chosen character gains resist +1 until the start of your next turn. You can choose this character to gain resist +1 until the start of your next turn, but it still can die to Zeus. But if they play Let the Storm Rage on or Strength of the Raging Fire, it's going to do 1 less to them. So maybe it's the Wombo combo. But most likely you're going to give this to another character to give resist, and then they do stuff on their own. This is Namari, the legendary. That is one of the worst legendaries. This is the under $1 club. This is under the $2 club. Namari is too expensive for what it does. It's the bodyguard, and it's okay, but it's got the Blades ability that you would much rather use, but she doesn't have a lot of strength to make it valuable, especially on turn 4. Maybe if you can play her earlier, like in a ramp deck, but she didn't see the play. I don't know of any list that plays Namari. It says this character can challenge ready characters. It's cool, and maybe with the charge card, the one that gives resist and +2 challenger, and maybe this would be good with medallion training weights. Maybe there's a world where Namari makes sense, but it's not here now. It's not meta. It's not the best. And she has an enchanted card, and I'm one of the suckers that has this enchanted card. So Zooga Booga to me. And over here is the charge card that we're going to talk about. Oh, it's Challenger 2 and Resist 2. So good. We got to talk about that. We'll do it later. And then this is Pasha. And did you know that you could just take a pen and you can draw like a Superman logo on his chest, and then it's even cooler. Don't be fooled about the folksy peasant look. Says Cusco. It's the 4/8. 8 is huge. It can quest for 2. It's the 6 cost. It's a pure vanilla card. Maybe Pasha gets a Floodborn eventually. I don't know. But he's not playable. He's not the best. I've never seen him played. Prince Naveen, the Penniless Royale. 4/3. A 3 that has 4. What did I just say about Lawrence? I said there's not a lot of 3-cost cards that give you 4 strength, but here it is. Prince Naveen has it. Lawrence is better. That's all there is. This is not the best. But there is now a Prince Naveen Floodborn card that you can shift onto, but it's not that good. The one from Azurite Sea that was just announced today. The Queen of Hearts. The Capricious Monarch? Are we learning a vocabulary word together? I don't know. Probably not. Off with their heads. Dance, dance till they're dead. When an opposing character is banished, you may ready this character. I guess it's a way worse Scar. Because, like, if she attacks something, then you could ready this character. And she only quests for 1. Maybe this is cool with the hero medals that gives your characters a +2 lore this turn. And then if you banish a character, boom, you quest for 3. And if you banish a character, boom, you quest for 3. Because it doesn't have the stipulation that says it can't quest again this turn. So maybe it's cool. But it's not. This is Robin Hood, the 2-cost unequal that has the Exert, deal 1 damage to chosen character. This was a good card. I think it still is a good card. I think that this is a good shift target. I like this card a lot. If it's in Robin Hood decks, it's great. This is a good card. I don't know what to tell you. There's also a promo version of this card. How much is the promo version of this card? Maybe too much. It's promo number 17. This is the Huntsman. And the Huntsman is interesting with the Bayou combo and the Beast. Because it says whenever this character quests, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So, the Bayou is a location that we got into the Inklands that says when you quest while here, you can draw a card and then choose and discard a card. So you draw a card whenever they quest, and if you put Relentless Beast there, they quest, you draw and discard, and then this does damage to one of the characters, and then Beast readies, and then Beast quest at the Bayou, and then it's the infinite loop, kinda, if they have enough willpower for you to do damage to. That's what it be like. It's there for wombo combos. It's there as a tool. It only costs 2, and it quests for 2 lore. It's not that bad. I like it. It's spicy. The Prince Bodyguard is really good, mostly because this resist. It just lives and lives and lives. It lives for like 3 attacks from a 2 strength character. Incredible value, and then it can take them out to quest for 2, and you're surely going to quest to put it in a bodyguard mode. This is an underrated bodyguard. This is one of the best stat lines for bodyguards. I think I'd have this over Kita or the what's his name? Simba Protective Cub. I think I like this one a little bit more because it quests for 2. That's a huge amount of lore. This Tiana is spicy. It has the resist 2, so she basically is 6, the 1/4, but her ability here is what's up. It says, while this character is exerted and you have no cards in your hand, opponents can't play actions, and it costs 2. So this was the Pete. Your opponent can't play actions right here. And there's a new legendary genie card that says at the end of your turn, put every card in your hand at the bottom of your deck. So this and that compare together, so they wouldn't be able to play actions and you'd be exerted. But they can just take this out if they have any character to do damage. But then your opposing character can't do actions. It's kind of cool. It was cool in Green Steel Mirrors, the discards, because people would have no hand. And then you'd play this, and then they wouldn't be able to do the actions. This is the Tiana. Could you shift that Tiana into that? Nope, that's not Floodborn. This Tiana has the buttons. The Diligent Waitress, the 1/3. My place is going to be special, with great food to fill people's bellies, and hot jazz to feed their souls. The 1/3, I played this in a Rockstar Stitch list, and I think it's useful in a Rockstar Stitch list for sure. The Charge action card, chosen character gains Challenger +2 and Resist +2. Super good. You pair this with Riot, you can pair this with Namari, I guess. The song card, the best song card there is, Let the Storm Rage On. Not only does it replace itself, but it deals 2 damage. It's so sick. This card is a 4 of in almost all my decks. You double sing this with Ursula. It does 4 damage and you draw 2 cards. I opened a lot of Rise of the Floodborn. I'm talking probably 6 boxes, and I got 1 foil of these out of there. Wish I had more foil of these out of those boxes that I opened. But I like this card a whole lot. They should have given this a DLC variant, right? The Pick a Fight card is very spicy indeed, especially against the enemy Diablos, if you know what I'm saying. Chosen character can challenge ready characters this turn. So good. But they have to be dry. So it can't be a card that you put out. This does not give you rush. This just lets you choose a character that's ready to challenge. The Strength of the Raging Fire is almost as good as Let the Storm Rage On. Lots of people get them mixed up. But this is different. It says deal damage to chosen character equal to the number of characters you have in play. So if you have 5 characters in play, do 5 damage. If you double single with Ursula, do 5 damage 2 times. So good. Such a solid song card. This and this are what makes Steel Song so cracked. This and this is what makes the Emerald Steel with Ursula go so sick. The last cannon. If this is the last cannon, then what's this one? Am I right? It says 1 ink, banish this item. So already bad deal. You have to pay 2 ink and get rid of a card. Chosen character gains Challenger +3 this turn. That's crazy. +3 is a huge amount of number. This is the Mouse Armor. You exert it. Chosen character gains Resist +1 until the start of your turn. This Mouse Armor doesn't go anywhere. It just stays there persistently. If you have 4 on board, you can give 4 resist to whoever you want. You could give it to your bodyguard. And then good luck, buddies. I saw a person do 4 of these and put it onto their Tinkerbell. And then Tinkerbell is a 4/5 character with 4 resist. Crazy stats, dude. So sick. Mouse Armor is where it's at. It works in mono steel. Do it. The weight set was the last card right here. Whenever you play a character with 4 strength or more, you may pay 1 ink to draw a card. Not bad. Drawing a card for 1 ink is always a good deal. It's a good item. It really is. Hercules is one of the enchanteds, and Amari is one of the enchanteds. That is all of the Rise of the Floodborn cards we've talked about in the last 6 weeks. You can watch the whole playlist of the Rise of the Floodborn card reviews and see our thoughts on all 204 cards of the set. Thanks for watching. We put out new videos every day. We'll see you tomorrow. If you hit the subscribe button